Over the years, I've smoked a lot of beef ribs and brisket, but there's one cut you don't normally smoke, and that's steak. You need a hot fire to sear the exterior while keeping the center juicy. I'm going to show you an ingenious technique called reverse searing. What you do is slow smoke the steak almost to temperature. Let it rest, then sear it over a hot fire right before serving. For steak, I'm using a cut called a tri-tip. If you live on the West Coast, you probably eat this once a week, but if you live east of the Rocky Mountains, you may not be familiar with it. It's the triangular end of a top sirloin. I love tri-tip because it cooks like a steak, it tastes like a steak, but it slices like a brisket. We begin with a rub. This one contains salt, freshly ground black peppercorns, garlic powder, dried oregano, and fresh or dried rosemary. Combine the ingredients, mix with your fingers. Season the tri-tip with the rub on all sides. Rub the rub into the meat. Tri-tip was perfected in the 1950s by Bob Schutz, a butcher in Santa Maria, California. And tri-tip is still the barbecue of choice in Santa Maria and Southern California today. To reverse sear the tri-tip, I'm using a Memphis wood-fired grill. This model has a hopper in the back, and it burns these hardwood sawdust pellets. I'm using oak, which is the fuel they use in Santa Maria, California. I set the temperature for 225 degrees. That's kind of your basic meat smoking temperature. And we'll place the tri-tips on the grill. We close the smoker. Smoking time will be about an hour or an hour and a half. Fast forward 1 hour and look at the tri-tips. They look good enough to eat now, although the internal temperature is actually still 110 degrees. So what I'll do is pull the tri-tips off to the side and remove the center grate, and then remove the indirect grilling plate, and you get a very good view of the burn chamber here. Place the direct grilling plate over the fire, put the grate back. Now this is where the reverse sear part comes in. That is, we're going to place the tri-tips directly over the fire, hot fire, to sear the exterior. Doing just the reverse of the way you would traditionally cook a steak. We'll keep the probe in so we can watch the temperature rise. Our target temperature here is about 120, 125 degrees. Whenever you're cooking meat that is thicker than the palm of your hand, I like to close the grill lid. Speeds up the grilling time. All right, we got a nice sear on the top. So you'll turn the tri-tip over. So just pull out the probe and then pull off the tri-tips, and they go onto a wire rack. That way they won't steam on the bottom. So hard as it is to be patient, you want to let the meat rest for about 5 or 10 minutes. This relaxes the meat, brings up the juices. Let's carve into it. You want to slice it across the grain. Now, the ends are obviously going to be quite well done. But you see, once you get into the tri-tip, it is a beautiful rosy pink in the center. Look at that. That looks amazing. When you cook a thick steak, sometimes you get what I call the bullseye effect. That is, you have a reddish, almost blue dot in the center. You have a gray ring outside that's more well done. In other words, it will not be an even color. But with reverse searing, you have this beautiful pink all the way through, and then just a nice crust. Tri-tip like this demands a great wine. I'm serving a Malbec from Argentina. Look at that beautiful ruby color. Oh yeah. In Santa Maria, the traditional way to serve tri-tip is with grilled garlic bread. Just take a slice of beef and smoked tomato salsa. This is delicious. The beef is smoky, it's rare, it's tender, it's juicy, and that salsa adds just the right touch of spice. So the next time you're looking to cook a thick steak like a tri-tip, remember reverse searing. Salud.